So yeah, I want to start a 52 books a year challenge. So what month are we in? We're in May. So realistically, I should have started it at the start of the year. I haven't. So coming into the 6th month, setting a challenge of 52 books to be completed by the end of the year, I think it's a big challenge. Not confident I'm going to be able to do all 52, but setting a goal that high for the remainder of the year, I think will motivate me to try to do as much as possible. I have set this target before in the past. I didn't do it, didn't manage to do it. I don't even think I got even close. It was 2020, COVID year, so I'm going to use that as an excuse. I've got no excuse now, really. I like reading, and to be honest, I will get a lot from reading. So I've got a variety of different books, business books. I've got some vaccination books that I need to read just to help me get a what would you call it? Make an informed decision about the choices I make for my children and then also myself. Got some Christian books and then just some random ones. So yeah, 52 books a year. That's kind of what I'm gonna try and do. Today is the 31st of May. So we'll see what we can do. So the first book I'm going to be reading is called, it's not on this list, so I'm just going to go and get it now. So yeah, first book I'm going to try to read, or not even try is not even the word I want to be using, to kind of get try out of my vocabulary. The first book I'm going to be reading is called 12 Week Year. Don't know what happens if I put this on the camera. I don't know if it makes it readable or if it's kind of backwards, but maybe I can flip the flip the camera around. But yeah, first book I'm going to be reading is 12 Week Year. So before I found this book, what I had as a kind of goal a few years back was I wanted to do more in a week than I do in a day. Or let me rewind. So yeah, what was happening was I would be doing stuff, making progress towards my goals, but I wasn't really documenting it. Or writing it down, let's say. I wasn't making note of what I was doing. So I thought, how do I even know if I'm making progress? I may feel like I'm making progress, but in reality, how would you know if there's no way to take note or record what you're doing? So I then, a few years back, started writing down what I was doing just so I can look back over a week, a month, and see if I was actually making progress. So what I set as like a goal then was I wanted to do more in a week than I do in a day. Is that right? More in a week? Yeah, more in a week than I do in a day. And what I mean by that is, so as you know, you may have a day and you might only do one task. You might have a list of 10 tasks, and on that list, you know in reality that those things could really be done in a day. But for some reason, it might take you a week, it might take you a month, or sometimes things on your list might take even a year, which to me isn't really, well, it isn't productive at all. So what I then set out to do was have a kind of, what would you call it, formula where I planned to do more in a week than I'd done in a day, more in a month than I'd done in a week, and then more in a year than I did in a month. So I didn't really go back and track it and see what was happening, but by the amount of, say, tasks that I managed to do and record, I could see, well, actually, I am doing stuff, I am progressing. What that then leads to is trying to understand, are you doing things that matter? Are you doing things that are in order of priority? Are even the things that you're doing moving you towards your main goal? And I haven't really gone back over everything to kind of assess and kind of make an assessment to be able to say, well, actually, yeah, you were doing a lot of things, but 60% or 40% of the things that you were doing were things that you didn't really need to be doing. So that's something I will revisit and just assess, and then maybe it will help me to plan for the future, make sure that I prioritize for the future, and it should help me move more quickly towards my goals. So yeah, back to this book, 12 Week Year. It is by Brian Morgan and Michael Lennington. Hadn't heard of them before until I heard of this book. 12-week year is basically getting more done in 12 weeks than others do in 12. So it kind of fits into what my formula was a few years ago. So hopefully what this book will allow me to do will allow me to kind of implement those things that I used to do, have been doing, and then learn new things to help me kind of progress really. So yeah, 52 books a year challenge. Let's see what I can do.